Happy Monday, everyone. My name is Edwin Edebiri, and I am the Chief Happiness Officer with the I Am Happy Project and also the Happy Neighborhood Project. I want to say thank you for joining us this Monday morning. This is our way of kicking the week off on a foundation of happiness. If you do a little research on Monday, you will find out that there's a lot of terrible things that happen to people on Monday. There's just increased heart attack, increased stroke, increase a whole lot of stuff. So we are doing our little part to counter that, to give people something to look forward to instead of anxiety, but something just exciting. So that's what this Happy Monday is about. Help us to spread it, encourage people to join us every Monday at the same time. Share with them the same number that you used to call in, and we will definitely appreciate it and appreciate you. All right, today, folks, we are going to be focusing on something that's going to be on a lot of people's mind, at least people that live in the U.S., that we are in the Thanksgiving week. There's going to be a lot of traveling taking place, this time of the year, and I hope each and everyone have a safe trip to wherever they go and coming back. So today, folks, the topic will be gratitude and happiness. Yes, gratitude and happiness. Now, if you are not fully aware, you need to, because there's a lot of studies that's being done and that has been done about gratitude and happiness and the role that gratitude plays in our life. And sure, it shouldn't just be a once-a-year thing during Thanksgiving in the U.S. It should be an everyday thing. And especially for those people that want to be happy every day. Now, if you don't want to be happy every day, then you can do it once a week if, that's what you want. Or if you want to be happy once a month, then you can do it once a month, But once a year, it just seems like too far apart, So for those of us that wants to be happy every day, then gratitude should be an everyday practice. Now, I want to kind of, share some very specific things that you can do that can definitely have that impact in terms of gratitude on your own happiness. But I want to kind of, share the science first, because we tend to more agree when studies have backed something up as opposed to just common sense, and I still think common sense play a role in a lot of the things that we do. But I was very fortunate, to have met with Dr. Robert A. Emmons, and that's E-M-M-O-N-S. He's a leading studier of gratitude and happiness. He wrote a book called Thanks. And I actually interviewed him, a few years back on that book and get to really understand some of the in-depth research that he has done with some of his colleagues, around the world. And one of such studies was the one that Dr. Robert A. Amos did with Dr. Macaulay. Now, folks, Dr. Amos, he's with the University of California, Davis, so that's very local to me. And then Dr. McCullough is out of University of Miami. So what they did is they had different groups in one of the studies that they did. They asked participants to write few sentences each week, focusing on particular topics. Now, one group wrote about things they were grateful for that had occurred during the week. A second group wrote about daily irritations or things that had displeased them, And then there was even a third group that wrote about events that had affected them, but there was no emphasis on whether they were positive or negative. So they had three very clear groups, okay? And this study went on for 10 weeks. So after 10 weeks, those who wrote about gratitude were more optimistic and felt better about their life. Now, surprisingly, they also exercised more and had fewer visits to physicians than those who focus on sources of aggravation. Folks, that's gratitude, okay? And I know because gratitude doesn't cost anything, money, we tend to take the value less significant. Can you imagine if somebody was to package gratitude and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to give you one gratitude a day and for a week, or I want to give you one gratitude a day for a month, and it's going to cost you like $200 or $500. Do you know that more people will put more value to it now because it's costing them money? And I don't think that's the right way to look at it. Okay, so just look at this is one of those things that we have for free and that we can practice and we can get better at. Now, one of the things that I came across, and maybe some of you have noticed this before, is called the hedonic adaptation. That is that's HEDONIC, hedonic adaptation. Now, this is good thing and bad thing. What is it anyway? Okay, hedonic adaptation is that when you have a repeated exposure to the same emotion-producing stimuli, we tend to experience less of that emotion. So let me kind of say that again. So when you have a repeated exposure to the same emotion-producing stimulus, we tend to experience less of that emotion. So that would be an example where a person wins a lottery, they are so excited, they are so happy. Man, you could, they'll be jumping and do all of those things. And then after a few days, that kind of slow down. And after a few months, it has no difference on their life anymore, at least not on their happiness, okay? They still have the money, but not on the happiness. They're back to where they were before they won the lottery. So that's hedonic adaptation, okay? So when you get exposure to the same emotion-producing stimulus, you tend to experience less of that emotion. And by the way, that's also one of the biggest obstacles to relationship. Especially, marriage, with your kids, with your job, with your house, with your car, with games. In other words, when you first meet that significant other, you're so excited, you're so pumped up, you get goosebumps and all of those things. And then you guys start living together and you get used to it. And so it just becomes no big deal anymore, okay? The same thing with the job. You first get that job, you're so excited. It was the one you wanted. It was the best thing since sliced bread. And after some time, you get used to the job. So we all have to be very careful about that because it is good and it's bad. Take, for example, someone that, get a serious injury and become handicapped. At first, you're really upset about it and you get really mad and you think it's the end of the world. And then after some time, you kind of find out it's not as big a deal anymore, and you start to adapt to it, and you actually get back to your happy level of happiness before the accident or before the handicap. So in that sense, it's a good thing. But we have to watch for it, where it actually makes us less happy. Okay, so why am I saying that? Because, folks, if we want to be happy on a daily basis, on a consistency basis, then we have to watch out for the tendency to take things for granted. Even the things that make us happy yesterday might not make us as happy today, and definitely may not make us happy tomorrow. So that is hedonic adaptation, okay? And so that's why you see sometimes people get really frustrated, and because we always try to look for something else. So what I want to suggest, and this is a very simple thing, and there is, again, a lot of studies, there is a lot of studies that back this up, a very simple exercise, and yet a very powerful one that could really help you to take care of the hedonic effect on your life, but also, greatly increase your level of happiness. And that is just 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day, write down what you are thankful for. It's a gratitude journal. Now, you don't have to get a fancy gratitude journal. Okay, you can just write on piece of paper and put it in a file or store it somewhere, or go to the store and buy a nice one. Or, by the way, you can download the Happy Button app. And there is a free journal right there, okay? Download, if you have not downloaded the Happy Button app, go to, on your smartphone or tablet, just go to happybuttonapp.com. And then you'll be able to download the app. And we have a really robust journal that you can keep there. Just 5 minutes a day, folks, 5 minutes a day. Now here is the caution. Some people might jump at it and go write down something that they are thankful for in 1 day, and then 2 days, and 3 days. And then, by a week later, you kind of forget about it. Now, be careful again. Now, that could be the hedonic adaptation, But I'll tell you, a lot of studies support is that one way to really overcome hedonic adaptation in your life, especially as you relate to your happiness, is the gratitude journal. Because you're doing it every day. And give it some time to start to kick in. It may take a month for you to start to really feel the impact. In short, the research that have actually graphed it out that your level of happiness could actually increase as much as 10%. As much as 10%, folks, if you just practice 5 minutes a day, every day, for like 6 months. Now, I know some of you are screaming at me right now, 6 months? Folks, come on now. It's just you writing down what you were thankful for yesterday, okay? Or what you plan to be thankful for today, or what you think you're going to be thankful for tomorrow if you can see tomorrow. And then you guys remember my saying, right? You cannot allow the past or the future to rob you of the present. So you should just concentrate on writing what you are thankful for this moment, because you already know that. And folks, that's it. It may not even take you 5 minutes, but if you really take some time, to think through it and write it down and reminiscent on it, you are allowing it opportunity to be absorbed into your system. And then be patient. Do that every day for 6 months. Study shows that you would actually experience an increase of up to 10% happiness. And then it will be sustained, especially if you continue your gratitude journal. Folks, think about it. Is that too much to ask in exchange for your level of happiness? Just one small, tiny, little 5 minutes out of your 24 hours in a day? So I hope you practice that and also share it with people that you care about. Share it with your loved ones. Share it at work. Share it everywhere you go. And especially if you are doing it, then you can become the testimony, for the impact that just 5 minutes a day of writing down what you're thankful for could truly increase your level of happiness. Now, who knows? Maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, it could be something you translate into a book that could actually inspire other people, to get to know more about the things that you did that make you happy. Okay, so that's what we got this morning, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. Today was gratitude and happiness. Let's not just make it for this week of Thanksgiving. Let's make it everyday thing. So take some time, write down every day what you're thankful for, and make it a habit. So, folks, as part of our routine, let's wish each other a happy Monday at the count of 2. 1, 2.
Happy Monday.
All right, you guys stay happy.